Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. The other day I got a message from a viewer of mine and she was asking about her Cygnanchum Marnerianum plant because it had been dropping the ends of its leaves or its branches. And I gave her an answer, but I thought, you know what? I have not focused on this guy in a little while. So let me talk about this plant and how we're going to be taking it into the fall. Cygnanchum marnerianum is a beautiful plant to some of us. I personally think it's an oddball that I have enjoyed in my collection because of the oddities of its appearance. As you can see, it looks like a bag of sticks, and that is actually the name that it is called, bag of sticks, stick plant, in addition to its actual taxonomical name, which is Cygnanchum marnerianum. This guy has been an easy grower for me. It has been potted in an airy mix, which I do think I could actually have a more moisture retentive mix. I had it in leca, which is those clay balls, some cactus soil. I had it in some cedar wood mulch. It really was an odd mixing of things. I even had some perlite in there. As you can see right now, it still looks relatively green. It grew a lot this summer. I mean, it has to be about, let me put it to the ground. Whoops, just broke off one of the things. It's about 4 feet long for me. So I'm going to talk about how I take them into the winter. Right now you can see it's basically plump and green. I had it in a southern exposure. You can see the sides of it that were facing the sun are way more gray colored, and then the ones that weren't are green. So if you see your Cygnanchum looking red or green, gray, don't think anything is wrong with it. It does respond to having higher lighting, okay? Now, I do go in at the end of the year usually, and I look at the branches. You have to really pay attention to how they look. Sometimes they look like they might be dead. I have to show you the difference between a dead end versus, let me come out of the sun. So right here, this is a dead end. When you snap it, it's powdery. You saw that powder just poof off, and nothing is wrong with it. It's, the other bit of it is flexible and, well, sticky, and that very end had died. This end right here, can we focus? It has a tiny little end right here. It is also dry. It tends to dry up in the summer for me. We've had droughts. Don't pay attention to this. This is my children's DIY wasp nest. We made them to put them up because we have some, oh God, the wasps. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If you have children, you should try this. It's pretty fun to do. I don't know why I'm talking about this in the middle of a Cygnanchum marinarianum video, but isn't this cool though? We're going to hang it up to help deter some of the wasps that have been coming to our area. Anyway, moving on. So back to the pot. You look in your pot and there's going to be some that have dried up. Some of these are pretty old, and I like here, I don't know, the top of this to me, focus, looks dry, and then the end is not. So when I see something like this, I start worrying that the thing is like drying off. And what I do, let me do it. I'm just gonna do it. I pluck it off. See that? I just pluck that off. And this part of it, that's dry. And then this part, which was the end, is absolutely living. So what I do, see, all of it, it's alive. So what I do, because I don't want to kill the thing, I literally, and this is how I get a full pot half the time, I go in there and I clean up the dead bits, because sometimes your old branches can die off. I clean up the dead bits, just checking for some, make sure I'm in frame, pluck them off. And then if you happen to have what I had, which was that part of the stick that was still alive, you just poke it back into the soil. I'm gonna use a stick to do this properly. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, I have a stick here. I'm gonna make a little hole in the pot, push it down in it. Focus. You see that? Take it out. And I'm gonna basically just put the branch that just fell off back in. See? I mean, if I'm worried, I can break off. See this right here? That's the sap that lets me know this branch is alive. You can break it off even in the middle of the branch, right there, and put this piece in the soil as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let me grab that little stick again. Ooh. Here we go. Poke a hole. Stick the stick into the hole. This is basic propagation of the CYNANCHUM Marnerianum. Be sure to water this when you're done doing something like that. So there's some in here. This thing has, gosh, my plant is so old. This little dry part here. Now, this part that I'm doing, the propagation bit, it is best if you do this in spring. I would not do it at this time of year if I were you. I only did it because that part really, I was going to lose the entire branch if I didn't do anything about it, you know? So you can look at your branches. Some of them, this powdery thing, you can see it. Can you see that? It's like powdery. That lets you know that part of the branch is dead. It's a look. You'll get used to staring at it after a while, and you'll see that it's dead. And then here, the rest of the plant is alive. Anyway, and I go on and I do that throughout the plant. You look at the ends, you pluck off the living bits. So this is doing just fine. And for the most part, this very, very long plant is doing beautifully. See that? In fact, for some very odd reason, it is also preparing to bloom. Here you can see the little bloom spikes. This guy just blooms randomly throughout the year. Can you see them? The little things sticking off the edge. If the phone would focus, it would make it a lot easier. It won't. Oh, trust me, it has little flower buds. And when it blooms, it is super cute. These weird little umbrella-shaped things that come on it. Here's another end. See? This end is dead. So that's the maintenance on it. In the summer, I would say I leave this one outside and it gets rained on whenever it rains. I don't limit the water in the summer. And in the winter, it's watered like once a week. So despite this looking really dry and papery and like a desert plant, I do keep mine, I try to keep it well watered in the summer, because I've found that if I don't do that, I have way more of these things. Let me see the end of this one. Let's see. Nope, it's alive. Because you could bend it. I don't know, this end seems like it wants to go. All right, yeah, oops. See, I broke that and this is alive. But you know, if you do that and you mess up, you can always stick it back in the pot. Anyway, CYNANCHUM Marnerianum is one of those plants that for you enthusiasts that like something unusual in your plant collection, the little flowers actually smell a tiny bit like Fruit Loops, the not so healthy American cereal. If you're into that, those little yellow flowers come multiple times a year on this size plant. I don't remember. I think it used to just bloom once a year when it was younger. It just randomly blooms now. It seems to like to do it. And next year comes spring, if I want to fill in the pot a little bit more, and I will because this is now quite long, I will cut off some of the ends of it and just pluck it back in the pot because I have space. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to water it to make sure those two newly transplanted sticks can grow. And I'm hoping for the best over the winter. And this thing I've had for years. This is about a 7-year-old plant. So yeah. I also feed it, by the way, during the summer. With every feed, it is fed a balanced orchid fertilizer. Balanced meaning all the numbers in the fertilizer: NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and what is the K part again? Why am I not remembering? Whatever the K is, yeah, balanced fertilizer. I feed it with that. So it is fed well, and come winter, it is not fed for months. So there you go. That's the comprehensive guide to taking your Cynancchum Marnerianum into the winter season or fall. I hope you enjoyed this video. If it was beneficial to you or to anyone that you know that might want to watch this video, please consider liking or subscribing for more videos such as this. Thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.